What's up, Comic Book Nation? BD here, guys. San Diego Comic-Con is rolling on. I'm here with the cast, crew, brains behind Young Justice. Guys, first of all, I heard the panel went really well. I was really bummed I was here talking to people. But I heard it was awesome.
You missed out.
I saw the trailer. It looks awesome, and I appreciate the recap beforehand. That was cool. But I want to know, first of all, when did you guys know that you guys were going to come back for season 3? And then, how long did you have to wait, versus the announcement?
10 days before the announcement.
No way.
That's when we knew for sure.
Never any doubt.
Yeah, I mean, they talked to us about it being a maybe, but we didn't know for sure until 10 days before the announcement.
I'm like Dan Coates right now.
We were ready-ish. You can't be completely ready for a project of this scale, but we had been talking about it.
We're still almost ready.
we're still kind of trying to gear up.
7 episodes in the game.
I'm happy that we're finally almost there because the announcement feels like so long ago now. I'm curious, has anything changed for you guys in the years off, in terms of technology or the creative process? Has anything changed in how you guys approach it in that time gap?
I fall asleep much more often.
I think we all appreciate that.
No major changes, not really. I mean, that's been part of the fun of doing this third season. It's been like a big reunion. It's so nice to kind of get back together with a lot of people that we got to work with before. We've been lucky to get Jamie Thomason back and Stephanie Lemelin's back, and so it's been like a nice homecoming.
But a reunion implies that it's all the same people. You have a lot of new people.
We do.
Like Troy Baker.
We have cousins that we never knew we had growing up.
And I was going to totally disagree because a lot's changed for me in the 5-year gap. I had 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
And I
and
wasn't...
yet you're just younger and more beautiful.
Yeah, that's what it does.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, so for me, and that, not that it parallels, I can't talk too much about our storyline, but, I just was able to draw a lot from my life and all of the maturation that takes place in one's life as time passes and the different things that you go through as, in relationships at home and at work. And they really, play with all of that on the show.
And specifically it applies as it
Without
applies to your
saying
character.
anything. What?
I said specifically as it applies to your character.
Yes.
Now everyone's going to think that Artemis has 3
kids.
children.
No.
Confirmed!
And I'm not saying it's not true.
Right, I'm not saying
I'm
that.
just not saying it
not
is true.
Well, damn,
I'm
Artemis,
just
you
saying
move
that
on pretty
I
quick.
draw from that as an actor.
That's all we want to know.
Our entire plot line is Schrodinger's cat. It's both is and isn't everything.
Artemis, you're moving on pretty quick after
She
Molly
just
disappeared.
gave away her whole storyline.
Yeah.
Well, let's follow that up then, though. How is Artemis affected by that ending from
Brandon's
season 2?
sweating right now.
And the big loss. I know you can't. I don't even want spoilers. But what can you say about
All
that?
I've heard them say is that Artemis is still mourning. She's still in mourning, so I can say that is true.
They said it's still morning for Artemis.
It's still.
more
Sun
It's
is
still in
You
morning.
can see
coming
I'm
out.
just getting in the trailer. I just get out of bed.
I mean,
It's still
I need
morning.
it was
coffee.
just Wally. I mean, get over it, right?
Oh.
Hot take.
No good?
Wow.
The door is right.
Hot no.
So
I guess I'm alone in that one.
It's over him in a flash.
Oh, wow, that
The
was
puns.
funny.
when
I can
We have a terrible
We can
time
leave
at
now
our
if you
records,
want.
as you can see. Yeah.
we're almost there, guys.
You feel like you've lost control of the
Oh, let's just when season 3 starts. I mean, how reliant is the knowledge of season 1 and 2 for? Is this a good jumping on point for people, or is it going to really enhance
No,
your
I mean,
experience?
it's a streaming service. You should definitely watch season 1 and 2.
Yeah. Okay.
If you haven't seen the show at all, you should definitely start with season 1 and 2. Binge watch those 2 seasons. Even if you have seen it, but you haven't seen it recently, I recommend
so much
watching it
detail.
again because you'll get a lot more out of season 3. I mean, look, you can watch any one episode of any of the 3 seasons and get something out of it. It's a good story. But if you want to make the most of it, it's a tapestry that all these people in this room and a few hundred more people have worked really hard to weave, and so you definitely benefit by watch season 1, watch season 2,
And then
go straight into season 3.
It seems like when season 2 ended, we had a pretty clear, at least tease of the direction the show might go. We might explore New Gods, Apocalypse, and all those things. Are we going to pick up there? Can you kind of elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of those threads have been there from the beginning. Really, I mean, there were Apocalyptic Tech was one of the cool sci-fi toys that we spread all throughout 2 seasons. So there's always been that relationship there.
New Genosphere.
We've been hinting all along about where we're going, and we're picking up all of those hints, all of those threads, and taking them further than we have before in the 3rd season.
So when you guys are writing this and you're getting to the end of the season, are you looking at planting seeds for it? I mean, I'm just happy we got season 3. Are you looking forward to season 4? Like, do you have like a plan in mind? Like, do you have an
we have
overall
a
story?
plan in mind for 4, 5, 6, and 7. I don't
They
think
were
we've
planning
gone beyond
season 1 for season 6. And
No, always
Although
planting seeds.
But like we have a good idea for season 1,000.
Oh, that's gonna be big.
It's a little bit of a time jump.
Yeah.
We're going back.
1,000.
Will there be any specific comic book arc influences here that we can kind of go and get a head start and maybe do some digging in?
Batman and the Outsiders, I suppose,
Yeah.
is a big one, particularly for the first few episodes.
Sure, we're kind of riffing on that, doing our Earth 16 version of that story. Our entire series has kind of been granted by DC the designation of Earth 16. We really lean into that. There's a lot of reminders of it throughout the series. Number 16 pops up quite a lot. But yeah, it also allows us to kind of riff on the comic books rather than have to stick to them very faithfully. What we try to do is at least really pay respect to the characters or storylines that we're riffing off of, so that hardcore fans really feel that respect. But also can be surprised for hardcore fans that know these stories, know these characters inside and out. We want something new and something fresh, a different take on
Always
something
going to
that's
be
very
a twist
familiar.
on it.
Right, and then for new people coming on board, hopefully they'll be able to see our stuff and be able to go backwards and see what the source material is and rediscover the DCU as we have.
Yeah. Now, speaking of new and fresh, I gotta know about new characters, man. Anybody you can tell us that's joining that you have?
Oh shucks, what's that now?
Yeah, what's going on, man? Tell me about the new characters.
So one of the characters that we're introducing this season is Brion Markov, who is Geoforce. Which, I mean, I'm pretty well versed in DCU, but there's what I love about what this show specifically does is that it really starts reaching back further and bringing some more of the obscure characters. I mean, there's nothing obscure. These guys were like, yeah, of course, and they could tell you chapter and verse which issue they first showed up in. But for someone like me, it gave me the opportunity to really kind of reach back and go, I never knew about that guy. And to be able to play a character like that, there's a little less. I'm not as stressed about it because there's never been like an iteration of it, so we kind of really get free license to do something cool with it. And if you've watched the show, you know that this is something that's really grounded. It's incredibly character driven. So Brion is someone who's born into aristocracy. He's born into royalty, and kind of in line with what we're telling this story is like the characters that we've seen before have chosen greatness. They wanted to become these superheroes. This is when something is thrust upon them, and he discovers that he has this metagene, that he has these abilities, and so we're going to kind of see his arc and how it plays out with both the existing and the new characters we have in this season.
Sweet, man.
It's pretty dope.
My last question for you guys: we left off with Kid Flash kind of disappearing. That was a big moment. Are we going to see some resolve? Are we going to see him ever again? Like, what's the deal with that? What's going on?
We're not going to spoil too much about anything from the 3rd season, but we will say that.
But a little thing like that.
Yeah,
it's not that big of a deal. I mean,
he's gone. He's totally dead.
But
nobody's ever dead.
in the footage that we released today, we see his loss is still affecting Artemis, so his presence is felt.
And everyone.
Even in his absence. So we get to explore that. I think that's something that I love about our show too, that we, in order to keep it grounded, there is a sense of loss at times. We had in both the Watchtower and the cave, there was sort of a grotto area where fallen heroes could be remembered. That's an important texture to the show, that sense of loss. That's something I think all of us can relate to in real life, and it's something that we wanted to build into the show, and not just forget those that have fallen, but remember them. And feel
without
their
revealing
impact.
too much what he's talking about, I read one of the scripts before I had to record it, and I was genuinely in tears at home It took me like an hour and a half to shake it because it affected me so deeply. You know, they're not playing around. They really draw from real life, and you're going to feel all these things when you watch season 3.
I just tweeted earlier today that I like to make fans cry.
And Stephanie.
And
I feel like
That's not right. That's not right.
they like warned me before we even went on stage. Have you seen it yet? Oh, you're gonna cry.
A good writer makes you like a character, and a great writer makes you suffer for it. So
That's right.
Well,
How about that?
there you go.
I'm going to tweet that later.
All right, guys. Well, Young Justice coming to the DC Universe streaming service. For more information, guys, follow along on Comicbook.com/DC.